So this is my new, I don't want to say mine, because again, people get really like possessive over builds when it comes to Diablo Immortal, at least recently. Maybe it's just me. This is my go-to farm build for both farming as well as for dungeons and or terror rifts. You basically don't die with this build, which is pretty awesome. Oh, they're all right there. I can just go with them. So essentially, everything does AoE damage. All the skills we're using do AoE damage. And then you just run. So when you go in and out of Abomination, you're getting a movement speed buff. And then also when you're in Abomination, you use the dashing skill. Obviously, that also nets you some additional movement speed. And truthfully, like, it's more or less the most mindless, which I think is the overall goal when it comes to farming builds, is that you can, like right now, I'm not primary attacking anything. I can just run, and then everything's just gonna die as I attack it, or as I just walk by it, which is usually what I aim for when it comes to farming builds, is the least active amount of work I can put into it. So let me go over here real quick, and I'll show you the skills and all the fun things. So skills, rockin', move out of the way, Siphon Blood, Whirling Strike, Shroud of Night, and of course Abomination, and then Ravage. Obviously, I'm using as many things as I can. Ooh, can I just walk? Let me walk. I want to walk. It's not gonna let me walk. All right. So I'll show you the essences here in a second. Once I get down there, for Paragon Tree, I am using the Harbinger, right? Harbinger, yeah, for the movement speed, and then the ultimate, I'm using Death's Release, because again, we are getting a little bit of dots with this build as well. And then for the set gear, I'm rocking a 4-piece Vithus and 4-piece Grace. So the 4-piece Vithus keeps the extended duration of basically all the abilities that we're doing at 100% uptime with all my other beneficial effect duration that I have on the rest of my build. In terms of the Grace, it's making the consistent AoE damage do more damage, which obviously is exactly what we want. If you really wanted to min-max it, you could probably do 2-piece Vithus instead of 4, because we're really not primary attacking that much. There's not as much value coming from that 4-piece than there is the 2-piece for the Vithus. You could run a 1,000 Wind, so that way you're getting a little bit more speed once you kill something. In fact, if you wanted to really min-max your speed, that's probably the best way to go. I don't struggle with speed, as you can see. I'm still zooming just fine, going in and out of Abomination. Sometimes, again, you keep that 100% movement speed up, and you might want to cancel Abomination a little early. But when you are in Abomination, you're literally not even doing... You can literally just like not primary attack, and you don't have to be in Abomination form to do a lot of damage, but you do get the movement speed bonus out of that. So that's where I prioritize that. All right. Oh, still don't have enough. I'm 4 away. All right. After we kill this tower, I'll show you the actual essences that we're using, which is obviously the bread and butter. We talked about the set gear. We talked about the skills and the Paragon Tree. All right. Obviously, gems and everything else are exactly what you're going to be using on everything else, so don't worry about that too much. All right, let's kill this, and then we'll talk about... Got him! Give me another terror. Give me another one of those little red boys. All right, nope. All right, so headpiece. Obviously, the name is going to be different because of the new head. This is going to be Siphon Blood is no longer channeled and now moves with you, dealing damage and draining the life of nearby enemies. This is a original piece to the Blood Knight, so not incredibly difficult to get. Moon Wraith is the chest piece. This is a newer one. Let me just make sure I don't die. Like a scrub daddy. So the chest piece is actually one of the, not newest, but newer. Let me go ahead and start walking that way. Maybe. All right, cool. So chest piece is one of the newer one, Moon Wraith, and what it does is, Shroud of Night now empowers you for a short while, causing you to conjure a shadowy apparition to attack nearby enemies whenever you take damage, okay? Keep that in mind, whenever we take damage. Shoulders is Anchored Agony, which is giving us Abomination no longer consumes anger and instead continuously consumes your life, i.e. doing damage, in order to damage and slow nearby enemies, but you also heal yourself for the damage you deal. Abomination damage increase. This is also keeping us basically alive no matter what we're doing. And for the pants, we're using Reliable Peril. And this is going to be Abomination now conjures an unholy aura around you that does AoE damage. So again, AoE damage around as much as possible. Main hand 1 is Maul and Response. And this is going to be Whirling Strike now causes you to counterattack, damaging all nearby enemies when you take damage. Again, we're causing damage to ourselves. Additionally, you heal yourself for a portion of the damage done. Whirling Strike damage increased. All right, let me just kill a bunch of things while I'm sitting here doing this. Going back, so that was main hand 1. Offhand 1 is one of the newer ones, so Grim Hound. So while Abomination is active, the longer you remain near an enemy, the more damage you deal to them, up to a maximum of 38 damage. Again, I am just basically going in and out of casting all my abilities. Main hand number 2 is Reverent Hunter. And this is Siphon Blood also slows enemy movement speed, absorbing their vigor, increasing your movement speed up to 30%. Siphon Blood damage is also increased. So again, we're just doing as much as we can with AoE damage. And then last but not least, when it comes to the offhand, another new-ish one is Fiendish Memento. Uno Memento, Fiendish Memento. Activating Abomination increases your damage by 19% for 3 seconds. After Abomination ends, your movement speed is increased by 57% for 3 seconds. And of course, both of those are going to be extended in the extended duration. Now, obviously, you can maintain 100% uptime on most parts of this build, which makes it, again, in my opinion, super easy to utilize. It's not hard, so if you want to mindlessly circle farm, you can obviously just cast all your abilities, pop into Abomination form, and then just run around. As you can see, I'm literally not even using any abilities until I get out of Abomination, and then I'm getting my movement speed bonus as well. So pretty self-explanatory and super fun to use, because if I do take damage in a Terror Rift or a Hellslayer bounty or anything like that, I will just heal whenever I'm in Abomination form doing damage. So both from my AoE as well as my just overall damage and my primary attack. So everything is going to heal me. So that's where you can just stay alive for as long as possible, which is why I'm a big fan of this build for, like I said, for farming, dungeons. It's basically right now my go-to. I spend the most time in this build compared to anything else. And obviously PvP is going to be a little bit different. So there's that. But this build is by far my favorite. We'll call it the best farm build for the Blood Knight. I am very interested and very close to being able to test the new essences for raiding, because I think that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck for the new ones. Because I think there's a really good PvE element that we're going to see with that new, the new essences that have to do with like lowering your health and doing more overall damage to a single target in Abomination form. So I look forward to that as well. Dude, why is everyone is gone? All right. Whoopi said, look up.